A decade of towing, 500,000 miles, still starts on the first turn. These aren't just trucks, they're machines built to outlive their owners. Today we're counting down the top 10 most reliable trucks with forever-lasting engines. Power plants so bulletproof mechanics call them indestructible. And here's the kicker, number 1 wasn't built for suburbia or Sunday drives, it was born for war. Number 10, 2006 Toyota Tundra, first gen V8 workhorse. When most people think forever-lasting engines, Toyota doesn't always come to mind first. But here's the surprise. The 2006 Toyota Tundra with its 4.7-liter I-Force V8 has a reputation for being nearly indestructible. This wasn't a flashy truck, it didn't dominate the horsepower wars or break towing records. What it did do was quietly rack up 300,000 to 500,000 miles without major drama. Mechanics love it because the engine is overbuilt with a cast iron block, simple design, and chain-driven cams that basically refuse to quit. And here's the wild part. These Tundras were often used for fleet work, construction, landscaping, heavy daily abuse. Yet stories keep popping up of owners hitting 500,000 miles with nothing more than routine oil changes and timing belt swaps. So while the Tundra never had the muscle truck swagger of a Dodge Ram or Chevy Silverado, its bulletproof reliability makes it the quiet assassin of the truck world. Think of it as the reliable friend who never flakes. Maybe not flashy, but always there when you need it. Number 9, 1994 Dodge Ram 2500. If the Toyota Tundra was the quiet assassin, the Dodge Ram 2500 with the 5.9-liter Cummins is the loud, unapologetic warhammer. When Dodge paired their second-gen Ram with the legendary inline-6 Cummins diesel in 1994, they didn't just build a truck, they created a cult. This engine is famous for being understressed and overbuilt. We're talking forged crankshafts, direct injection, and a block so tough that many of these engines sail past 600,000 miles with only basic maintenance. Some even cross the million-mile mark and still pull strong. The secret? The Cummins wasn't designed for pickup trucks. It was originally a medium-duty commercial engine, the kind used in tractors and industrial machines. Drop that kind of brute force engineering into a pickup, and suddenly you had a truck that could tow a house and laugh about it. Here's the playful kicker. The body panels on these trucks? Rusted, faded, falling apart. But the Cummins engine under the hood? Still purring like a chainsaw at a bonfire. Owners joke that the truck will dissolve into dust long before the engine gives up. Number 8, 2007 Chevy Silverado 1500. If there's one truck engine that refuses to die, it's the Chevy 5.3-liter Vortec V8. Found in the 2007 Silverado 1500 and countless other GM trucks, this motor has a reputation that's almost boringly reliable, and that's exactly why people love it. On paper, the 5.3 wasn't a world beater, around 315 horsepower and 335 pound-feet of torque, respectable, but nothing that made Dodge or Ford sweat. The real story was under the hood, a simple pushrod design, iron block durability, and lifter systems that just kept going. Many of these Silverados rack up 300,000 to 400,000 miles before owners even think about a rebuild. What makes it legendary is how cheap and easy it is to maintain. Need a replacement part? Practically every auto shop in America has one sitting on the shelf, and even if you never treat it well, skip oil changes, tow way over the limit, beat on it daily, the 5.3 usually shrugs and says, "Is that all you've got?" One mechanic joke sums it up. The Silverado might outlast your marriage, your job, and your knees, and that's just on the factory engine. Number 7, 1986 Toyota Pickup. Before the Tacoma ever existed, Toyota had the 1986 Toyota Pickup, a small, boxy truck with an engine so tough it basically wrote itself into legend, the 22R and 22RE inline 4.
And the very revered 22RE. Now this particular motor is a 2.4 liter.
This little 2.4 liter wasn't powerful, just around 100 horsepower on a good day. But what it lacked in speed, it made up for in sheer immortality. These engines were timing chain driven, cast iron blocked, and under stress to the point of absurdity. Owners regularly pushed them well past 400,000 miles, with some topping 500,000 while still starting every morning like it was new. And here's the kicker. This is the truck that became famous worldwide for being indestructible. In fact, the British show Top Gear once tried to kill one. They drowned it, set it on fire, dropped it from a building, even left it on top of a collapsing tower, and the engine still fired back up. The 22R and 22RE didn't just make Toyota's reputation in America, it cemented it globally. For many, this wasn't just a truck, it was a survival tool. Number 6, 2010 Ford F-250 Super Duty. When Ford rolled out the 6.7-liter Power-Stroke diesel in the 2010 F-250 Super Duty, people didn't quite know what to expect. The previous Power-Stroke engines had, let's just say, mixed reputations. But this one? It shocked everyone by being rock-solid reliable. This engine was Ford's first in-house designed diesel after years of outsourcing, and they went all out. With compacted graphite iron blocks, forged steel crankshafts, and high-pressure fuel systems, the 6.7 was engineered to last. And last it did. These trucks regularly pass 400,000 miles with nothing more than routine maintenance. What makes it even more impressive is that this engine wasn't just reliable, it was powerful, cranking out over 390 horsepower and 730 pound-feet of torque at launch. It let Ford owners tow mountains while keeping the peace of mind that the engine wouldn't explode in the process. And here's the playful jab. Dodge guys loved to brag about their Cummins, Chevy guys swore by their Duramax, but Ford owners finally had the trump card. The 6.7 gave them the perfect mix of brawn and brains. Number 5, 1999 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. When Chevy dropped the 6.6-liter Duramax diesel into the 1999 Silverado 2500 HD, it changed the truck game forever. Before this, GM's diesel offerings were, politely put, unreliable. But the Duramax, it instantly gave Chevy a seat at the big boy table with Cummins and Power-Stroke. The secret to its success was in the engineering: a cast iron block, aluminum heads, forged steel crankshaft, and high-pressure common rail injection. This combination gave the Duramax both durability and efficiency. Owners routinely see 500,000 miles on the odometer without a rebuild. In fact, many fleet trucks and hotshot haulers swear by it for precisely that reason. And the real kicker? This engine was so ahead of its time that it made Chevy trucks competitive overnight. The Duramax was smoother and quieter than the Cummins, while still outlasting most Power Strokes of the era. Playful truth, Chevy owners joke that the body panels may rust away, the tailgate might fall off, and the electronics could drive you crazy, but the Duramax under the hood will outlive you. Number 4, 1995 Ford F-350. Ask any old school Ford guy about the most reliable truck engine ever built, and you'll hear the same answer: the 7.3-liter Power-Stroke. Found in mid-90s Ford F-250s and F-350s, this diesel is still considered the gold standard of durability. Here's why. The 7.3 used a HEUI, hydraulic electronic unit injection system, forged internals, and a cast iron block that was basically unkillable. These trucks weren't just reliable, they were overbuilt to handle punishment. It wasn't uncommon for them to hit 500,000 miles with only regular service, and many have crossed the million-mile mark still hauling strong. The 7.3 also had a reputation for being simple. No complex emission systems, no fragile parts to worry about. Just a big, loud, torque-happy beast designed to work all day, every day. That simplicity is exactly why modern diesel fans still hunt them down. And the cultural impact? The 7.3 became the diesel that set the standard. Ford guys still brag about owning one, while even rival Chevy and Dodge owners will nod in respect. Number 3, 1990 Dodge Ram 3500. If the 7.3 Power-Stroke was legendary, the 12-valve Cummins was mythical. Found in early 90s Dodge Ram 3500s, this engine is the reason the Cummins name became a badge of honor on truck fenders. The magic was in its simplicity. This inline-6 turbo diesel had mechanical fuel injection, a cast iron block, and virtually no electronics. That meant fewer things to break, easier fixes on the side of the road, and insane durability. Many of these engines surpassed 500,000 to 1 million miles without ever needing a rebuild. What really cemented its reputation was the P7100 injection pump, affectionately nicknamed the P-pump. It allowed the engine to be tuned for massive power while still keeping its bulletproof reliability. Mechanics will tell you flat out, the 12-valve Cummins is one of the greatest diesel engines ever put in a truck. And the funny part? The truck around it often rusted away, dashboards cracked, seats tore, but the engine? Still purring, ready to tow another load. Owners joke that you could swap the Cummins into a wheelbarrow and it would still outlast most modern trucks. Number 2, 1989 Toyota Land Cruiser. Not all forever-lasting truck engines are diesels. The 1989 Toyota Land Cruiser 80 Series came with the one FZFE 4.5-liter inline-6 gasoline engine, and it quickly earned a reputation as one of the toughest gas motors ever built. On paper, it wasn't the fastest thing around, just 212 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. But what mattered was its ability to keep running under any conditions. Built with a cast iron block, forged crankshaft, and Toyota's obsession with reliability, reality, these engines are legendary for surviving extreme abuse. Owners report crossing 400,000 to 600,000 miles without ever cracking open the engine. And here's where it gets wild. These Land Cruisers weren't babied. They were dragged through deserts, beaten on rocky trails, and used in humanitarian fleets around the world. Yet they just refused to quit. That's why you still see 30-year-old Land Cruisers commanding ridiculous prices on the used market. The engine alone is worth the investment. Playful truth. The one FZFE might not win drag races, but if the world ended tomorrow, this is the engine you'd want under your hood. Number 1, 1984 AM General Humvee. At the very top of the list sits a truck engine that wasn't designed for daily commutes or weekend camping trips. It was built for war. The 6.2-liter Detroit diesel V8 found in the original 1984 AM General Humvee is the ultimate forever engine. On paper, it didn't look impressive, just 150 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque. But specs never told the whole story. This engine was engineered for simplicity, durability, and battlefield survival. It had a low-stress design, cast iron everything, and mechanical fuel injection that could run in extreme heat, freezing cold, and even on questionable fuel. These Humvees were beaten, bombed, shot at, and pushed to their limits in the harshest environments on Earth. Yet the engines kept going. That's why military surplus Humvees, decades old, are still finding second lives with off-road enthusiasts today.